Hello everyone, I welcome you all in the third part of our CUET PG 2025 question paper analysis. As you all know, in the previous two parts, we have discussed the questions from 1 to 50 of CUET PG 2025 English Literature exam. And in this session, we will discuss the question number 51 to 75 of the exam. So those of you are preparing for CUET PG 2026 English Literature exam, do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel to get to know all the important questions that have been already asked in CUET PG exam. So watch this video till the end to get to know all the important questions that have already asked in CUET PG exam. And without further delay, let's begin the session. The 51 first number question is the 51 number question is from William Shakespeare's play. We all know William Shakespeare is one of the most important authors of Elizabethan period, and it was William Shakespeare who wrote total 37 plays, and his plays are divided into different genres like tragedy, comedy, tragicomedy. In the left side, there is some of the important quotes from his plays, and in the right side, here is some of the important plays from where these quotes are taken from. In the option 1, the quote is in the option A, brevity is the soul of wit, is taken from William Shakespeare play Hamlet. And in the first option, option A, brevity is the soul of wit, is taken from William Shakespeare's play Hamlet. And in the second option, option B, all the words stage, is a quote from his play As You Like It. And the third option C is we are such stuff as dreams are made of, is a quote from his important play The Tempest. And the last option is out brief candle, is a quote from William Shakespeare play Macbeth. When Lady Macbeth killed King Duncan, and in her hand the blood of King Duncan is surrounded, and at that time she said that out damp spot, out brief candle. The 52nd number question is which of the following literary terms refer to a play on words where a word has two or more meanings, or words that sound similar but different meanings? Which literary terms, two different words, sometimes seems or sometimes sound as a similar sound but they have a different meaning? Here in the question number 52, the answer will be option C, option 3. Option 3 contains the answer of pun and symbolism. Pun and symbolism are two important literary genres where sometimes two different words sound similar but they contain different meanings. The 53rd number question is which of the following is not an autobiography? Here is four important works which falls under autobiographies and memoirs of different authors, and the answer will be option 2. All the Road Leads to Ganga is not an autobiography. It is a memoir by the writer Ruskin Bond, except option 2. The option 1, How I Become a Hindu, is an autobiography by the Indian writer Sitaram Goel. The option 3, Wings of Fire, is an autobiography of Indian writer APJ Abdul Kalam, who was also known as the Missile Man of India. And in the fourth option, Lone Folk Dancing, is an autobiography of the Indian writer Ruskin Bond, who belongs from Missouri. And the 54th number question is Into the darkness they go, the wise and lovely, crowned with lilies and with laurel they go, but I am not resigned. Which form of poetry would be aforementioned lines be classified as? These are the four important genres from, and this quote and this line belongs from one of these important genres, and the answer will be option 2. The line belongs from the genre option 2 because in these lines the authors mourned about someone's death and using different imageries like lilies and laurel which are associated with death or tomb. The 55th number question is also for matching. In the left side there is important four humors. In the right side there is some here is characteristics of these humors. We all know in the Elizabethan time period it was Ben Jonson who used four humors in his work. The everyman in his humor, and here is four humors. The answer will be option 4. The humor sanguine is associated with sadness. Option B, melancholy. The humor melancholy is associated with happiness. And on option C, phlegmatic, the humor phlegm is associated with apathy. And option D, choleric is associated with anger. So the answer will be option 4. The 56th number question is also from matching. In the left side here is some of the important movie adaptations of different novels, and in the right side here is the movies or the text from where these movies are taken or where the theme of these movies are taken from. And the first option is option A, Omkara. Omkara is an adaptation of William Shakespeare play Othello. And option B is Mukbul. Mukbul is an adaptation, is also an adaptation of William Shakespeare's play Macbeth. And option C, Utsav. Utsav is an adaptation of the play Mirichakatikam. And the option D is Savaria. Savaria is an adaptation of the play White Nights. And the answer will be option 2. The 57th number question is, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings recollected in tranquility. Is a poetic philosophy is ascribed to. This is the poetic philosophy of William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was the most important poet in the Romantic period, and it is his philosophy that Poetry is the overflow of powerful feelings recollected in tranquility. The 58th number question is, arrange the following in the chronological order, beginning with the earliest. In the 58th number question, here is some of the important movements in British literature. And the movement first appears in British literature is the Graveyard School of Poetry. The Graveyard School of Poetry came into being in 1750s. After the graveyard poetry, it is Strum and Drang movement in Germany, which started in 1760s, 1770s. And after Strum and Drang movement, it is Pre-Raphaelite. Pre-Raphaelite movement started in 1840s. And the Pre-Raphaelite it started in 1840s. In the year 1840 and 1848, PRP is founded by William Holman Hunt, John Everest Millay, D.G. Rossiti, Christina Rossiti, and the last movement is Edwardian. Edwardian movement or Edwardian period started after the death of Victoria in the year 1901, and it is 1910s. The 59th number question is also from matching, and this matching is taken from some of the important Indian novelists and what are the important novels they have written. In the option A, in the left side here is the important authors in the left side. In the right side there is important novels. The first option or option A is Alan Shelley. Alan Shelley wrote the novel The Everest Hotel. And the option B is Salman Rushdie. Salman Rushdie is one of the most important novelists or author of postmodern time who belongs from India. And it was Salman Rushdie who wrote the novel Grimace. Grimace is a novel by Salman Rushdie, and this novel is based on Gothic themes. After Salman Rushdie comes Amitabh Ghosh. Amitabh Ghosh wrote the novel The Calcutta Chronism. And other important novel of Amitabh Ghosh is The Shadow Line. The last or option D is Bikram Seth. Bikram Seth wrote the novel The Golden Gate. And the answer of 59th number question will be option 3. The 16th number question is which one of the following author is not from the Caribbean region? Here is four important authors from three authors who belong from Caribbean island, but one author who is not belong from Caribbean England. And the answer will be option 3, Patrick White. Patrick White is an author not from Caribbean island but from Australia. Except Patrick White, Derek Walcott, Edward Camus Braithwaite, and Amy Caesar, these are the authors who belong from Caribbean region. The 61st number question is, here is some of the important theory, and in the left side and in the right side the proponent of these theories. The first theory is option A, utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is a philosophy which is introduced by J.S. Mill, and it was J.S. Mill who wrote some of the important works, and these works are What is Poetry, The Subjection of Women, and utilitarianism was started by J.S. Mill. That option B is father of modern philosophy. Father of modern philosophy is René Descartes, who said that cogito ergo sum, which means I think therefore I am, is the most important philosophy of René Descartes. After René Descartes, option C is empiricism and rationality. Empiricism and rationality is a philosophy by the enlightened philosopher Immanuel Kant. And last comes option D, that is pantheism. Pantheism is a philosophy by Baruch Spinoza. And it was Spinoza whose most important work is ethics. So the answer of 61 number question will be option 4. The 62 number question is which one of the following female character does not figure in the works of Kalidasa? And here is the four important characters, but one important character that doesn't belong from Kalidasa, and the character is Basavadatta. Except Basavadatta, Urvashi, Malvika, and Shakuntala are the character belong from or character created by Kalidasa. 63rd number question is the War of Roses is used to describe which of the following? Here is the four options, but the characteristics of War of Roses is the answer will be option 4, civil wars in England between Lancastrian and York dynasties. In the year 1455 to 1485, there was War of Roses in England, and it was fought between Lancastrian and Yorks, and it was Lancasters who belongs from Red Rose, and it was Yorks who belongs from White Roses. And after the defeat of Yorks by Lancastrian, the Tudor dynasty is founded in the year 1485. And thus the War of Roses ended. And the War of Roses is used to describe which of the following? Civil wars. The 64th number question is, who is considered the compiler of Vedas? The author who was known for the creation or compilation of Vedas, it was Ved Vyasa. Ved Vyasa was known for the compilation of Vedas. 65th number question is, arrange the following in the correct chronological order of the year of their birth, beginning with the earliest. Here is the four important Indian novelists or Indian authors who wrote different important novels, poetries, and the author who first born among these authors is Toru Datta. Toru Datta was the author of first generation of Indian poets. After Toru Datta, it was R.K. Narayan, and after R.K. Narayan, it was Anita Desai who was born, and it is Jhumpa Lahiri who born at the last of this author. And the answer will be option 1. The 66th number question is, which options are true about existentialism? We all know existentialism is a philosophy which started in the mid 20th century, and this philosophy is depicted in the works of Albert Camus, Samuel Beckett. The answer of this question will be option 1. Option 1 contains the options of A, B and C. A, B and C are the correct answer of this question. And these options are focus on radical individual freedom, and the options are focus on individual freedom. Option A is focus on individual freedom. Option B is Albert Camus and Jean-Paul Sartre are thinkers, writers associated with this movement. And option C is the absurdity of human existence is one of the major themes. But the option D, its immediate inspiration was the French Revolution, is not a characteristic of existentialism because French Revolution started in late or 1790s or 1780s. So the answer will be option 1. A, B and C are the characteristics of existentialism. The 67th number question is which of the following is an ancient book of grammar? The author in the ancient time there was one important work from where all the grammars were invented or the grammars came into being, and the ancient book of grammar is Ashtadhyayi. The 68th number question is from comprehension passage, and here is a passage which is given about the language of prose and poetry and how different persons like critic, journalist, students of literature who use language in their literary works or literary composition, and how the language of poetry and prose are different from one another. And in this passage, and here the first question is the given passage may be characterized as, here is the 4 options of this passage, and these options are option 1 didactic, option 2 explicative, option 3 subjective, and option 4 psychological. The answer of this passage will be explicative because in this passage the author said that how language of poetry differs from the language of prose and how different persons use their languages in their works. The 69th number question is complete the following sentence by choosing the correct option out of the given ones as per the reading of the passage. This is a question also from the comprehension passage. Prose as a medium of literary appreciation. Here is 4 options. The option 1 should use appropriate language for conveying a particular content. Option 2 should be highly elevated in style. Option 3 should exhibit a creative and fanciful style. Option 4 should focus on scholarly jargon. The answer of this question and the answer of 69th number question will be option 1. The prose as a medium of literary appreciation, and it should use appropriate language for conveying a particular content. The 70th question is also from comprehension passage, and the comprehension passage in the left side there is the mention of 4 different persons who belong from different fields and how they use language in their different works or in their respective fields. And the answer of this question will be option 1. The 71st question is also from reading comprehension. And the 71 number question is what are the characteristics of good prose? Here is some of the important characteristics of good prose, and from these characteristics you have to choose the correct or the important characteristic, and the answer will be option 4. The options B, C and D which are matching the requirement of the targeted readership. Option C is ease of expression. Option D, economy of words. These are the important characteristics of good prose. but use of bombastic words is not a characteristic of a good prose. The 72 number question is also from comprehension passage, and in this comprehension passage there is one woman who was lying in a Delhi nursing home, and he was watching a bird or pigeon who was flying in a daylight from his window in a daylight, and after watching the bird he forgot all his pains and feels calm. And in this passage the author depicted the experience of that woman. And the 72nd number question is, according to the speaker, what stops one from going crazy? The answer will be simple thing. After watching the flight of the bird, the person forgot all his pains, and it is a very simple thing which stops her from of going crazy. The 73rd question is, what was the only thing that prevented the writer from losing her sanity? When the writer was lying on a bed in a Delhi nursing home and he was watching the flight of a bird, and it is the thing that stopped her from losing her sanity, and it is a solitary the answer will be a solitary pigeon on the skylight that stops her for going crazy of losing her sanity. The 74th number question is also from reading comprehension, and the question is, what was worse than the illness? And the answer will be option 1. Being in Delhi nursing home was a feeling of worst for her, and it is the worst thing according to the author. And the 75th number question, which is also from reading comprehension, and the question is, which term applies the best to the given passage? Here is 4 important terms for this passage, and these terms are argumentative, descriptive, reflective, and narrative. And the answer will be reflective, option 3, because in this passage the author reflects her personal experience when he was ill in a Delhi nursing home. And these are the questions of CUET PG 2025 English Literature exam. So those of you are preparing for CUET PG 2026 English Literature exam, do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel to get to know all the important questions that have already asked in CUET PG exam, and study and to get different study material, watch our videos. Thank you everyone for watching this video.